In this video, we are going to continue on from where we left off with the wall creation video. So in this file, when I go to draw walls, I already have the exterior, interior, and plumbing walls selected or created for our Habitat for Humanity home. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to go through and draw in a few of the walls. So exterior walls are pretty easy to go through. I'm going to draw in some sizing here. And the thing is that you may want to go through and look at when it comes to placing the walls and everything where you need, you'll see you'll have temporary dimensions that show up. Remember, you have to select the wall or object that you're wanting to move. And so here, if I was to go through and change this from 40 to 20, that north wall that I have selected there in blue is going to be what moves. However, the other thing you got to be careful of are the grips. Where did the grips go through and are locating at? Right now, this is to the wall center and not to the inside face of the wall. And that's going to be pretty important as we go along within our house design. So for right now, I'm going to go to change that back to 40. You see that wall moves and adjusts. But here's the other thing. As I go through and I set this up, let me go ahead and place in some interior walls. So the other thing you may see is as you are going along and placing some walls into your house design is that as you go through and let's say you click this wall here, not all the time does it give you the exact, maybe it may not give you the exact temporary dimension that you need. So here's a little trick to go through and make this happen. Either you can go to the Annotate tab and find the Align Dimension tool. Also in your Quick Access toolbar, you have that Align Dimension option selected as well. But when you choose that, you want to go through and when you hit the drop down, you need to go to Wall Faces. You want to go through and place what dimension that you have. So that way it will pick up what faces. So here I'm going to click the inside to the inside here, and I want to set up this room to be a certain size. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel to stop placing the dimension. If I want to go through and change this, I need to select the object that I want to move. So this is not like other CAD programs where you can double click on the dimension and it allows you to change the option. So actually I'm going to go ahead and let me redo that. There we go. And when I select the wall, then the text turns blue. So whatever object that's tied to that is where I can change it. So maybe I want to make this 20 feet. That's going to go through and put that in. Now this is a permanent dimension. If I select it, I can actually lock it if I want to make sure that that maintains at 20 feet. So same thing here. If I choose my align dimension, click from here to here, maybe I need to make this 15. In order to make that change, I'll stop the dimension tool, select the wall, choose that temporary dimension, 15, and then if I need to, I can lock it into place. That way that will go through and lock the size of this room that I need there. So that's kind of the nice part of utilizing the align dimension tool is we can actually force it to go through and move to where we have. If we're going to go through and actually utilize the temporary dimensions that show up, for example, you could have temporary dimensions that automatically pop up. The one issue you need to watch for is the grips. So make sure this grip goes to the inside, this grip goes to the inside. Here we can go through and make this 18. That moves that wall out. But when you go through and do this, here's what I would do. I would make sure that if you notice, you get a lot of temporary dimensions. Here's the 18 feet that I set before. I can make that a permanent dimension, but it does go through and pick up the other temporary dimension to make that happen. So that's the only thing as well, is you may need to go through and think about what you want to go through and have being shown. So I'm going to delete that, and then I can always use the align dimension if I just want to make sure to get the inside to inside and lock that, then that'll work well. All right, so that's kind of one thing just to kind of note about the sizes. You know, you want to make sure that you are locating them out. And the big thing with this affordable home design is you want all of your walls and the room sizes to be exactly perfect before you start doing anything else to this model. So make sure you have all those placed. Otherwise, as I go through. The other thing I'll point out to you within this, I'm going to go to another file here that I've got another home design, is you need to identify walls within your home design that are plumbing walls. So like here I've got a sink, I've got a toilet, and I have a bathtub, and they're right here, the wall that they're all up against would be identified as a plumbing wall. So you would need to go through and change that, and the way you can change that is by selecting the wall, hitting the drop down on the type selector, and moving between and choose which wall that you want to change to. So if it's an interior wall, you would choose plumbing wall. It would get a little thicker, and you may have to go through and make some different changes to align or adjust some of your walls. So for example, if I need to go through and make this wall here a plumbing wall, then I could go ahead and make that adjustment. The only issue is the reason why I'm kind of making sure that you keep everything to, is you'll notice the toilet now I'm going to have to adjust. I'm going to have to move this object so that way that it goes through and works there. Okay, some things that kind of help you: go to the Modify tab, go to Align, choose the position you want it to go to, and then choose the object that you want to move. Now the back of the toilet is going to be right up against the edge of the wall. Okay, so typically though you probably got a little bit more room than that. You wouldn't put the toilet right up against the back of the wall, but this shows you how to use the Align tool, because in some cases we may need to go through and you may need to realign some walls and make some different changes like that. Okay, so this is the one thing that you'll want to take a look at are your walls. You want to make sure all the types are set and all the spacing and locations are there as well, because otherwise you're going to have to make movements with all your furniture. All right, so this ends out the video on how to dimension walls, place them, and then also looking at how to modify them to make sure that they're in the right spots and prep for your furniture.